So this is my first attempt at videotaping a transition from one pasture paddock to another. So the cows are over in this part of the field. Today is Saturday, February 10th, 2023. And we bring them to our watering area. And then we have these gates here, these gates that are made of poly wire. So we've got a quadrant over there that they use for a week or so in the winter. We have a quadrant here, and we have another quadrant over here. So we rotate them every week or so in the winter time. Just depends on what's going on and how fast they're eating the feed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this string right here where this little guy is in front of us, and hopefully they're going to come walking on through. They might get stuck by that little string there, but I think they'll figure it out. Usually this guy right here, he's usually the lead. So we're going to open it up. These are two little steers. This is a 2023 steer. This is a 2022 steer. So I'm going to unhook this section here, and they kind of got it figured out. This little guy's going to have to go around this rope and go over here, but come on. Come on. There we go. And we've got some hay set up over here for them. They're used to going over here, so they'll figure out what the deal is. Then I'm going to go way down to the other end, and there's a mineral feeder, and I'm going to bring it over into this quadrant. But come on. I know, it's exciting, isn't it? Come on. So last time I moved them, they were all excited, and I was hoping to see some of that excitement today where they were running and kicking and having a good time. But there you go. So they know kind of where the hay is from the last time when they were in this quadrant here. They figured it out, but they're not too hungry right now because we've been having some nice spring weather, and their bellies are probably kind of full. They're looking pretty good. There they are. Now they're getting excited up there. They got some fresh hay. A lot of times what they'll do is the little ones start running around. The mamas don't run so much because they've got little babies in them trying to grow. But usually what they'll do is they'll rub up on the new hay, the fresh hay, and just have a good old time. So there's one bale right there. They haven't seen it yet. There's another one right over there. So as they crowd each other out, one of them eventually will kind of get kicked out, booted out, or say, hey, I don't like this, and wander over to that other bale. And sometimes I give them a little incentive and walk over there and show them that it's over there. So they like to get scratched, and there's not much out here to scratch on. And that's why you're going to see them rubbing their head and their bodies against that bale. Kind of frustrating. They make a big mess and don't eat a lot of it, but it is what it is. Anything that doesn't get eaten, we consider it fertilizer for the worms, food for the worms, and other microbiological items that are in the soil. So there we are. That's a successful move. You simply call them, they come, so they get trained pretty easily, and they start eating. So they're eating the bale of hay, because if you look down at the ground, this is early February and we have bare ground. Not very common. But we do have some grass that's actually growing a little bit here. So when they get tired of the hay, they'll come and munch on something like this. And they'll look for the next one and the next one. So the key is in the wintertime is to keep this ground covered. Actually, in the summertime and every time, you want to keep your soil covered, because when it's not covered, it's ripe for weeds. We don't want weeds because cattle don't eat weeds. Or I should say, undesirable plant species. No such thing as a weed. A weed is there for a reason. It's to fill in a void. Like when there's bare soil, a plant will pop up real easy. We consider it a weed, but nature's just doing its thing to cover up that soil. So this is it. this is what we do. So I spend about 10 to 20 minutes each week moving them. Of course, I had to spend some time and move the bales out here, but that's what we do. So I'm going to head over to this other bale and see if this little one wants to follow me. She's not getting much food right now. The other one over there is wearing the food. I guess it's a little chilly. They put on a hay scarf. Anyway, right behind them is a bird feeder. So what we like to do out here is encourage barn swallows to live out in the fields or near the fields, because that's a natural fly repellent. So flies, as you can imagine, get near the cattle in the summertime especially, and cows don't like it, and it basically sucks the blood out of them. So if we can encourage a natural deterrent, which are those birds that live in those birdhouses, and I think we have about 20 of them around the farm, but you know, we could probably use 50. I think there's enough food here to support that population. So that's what that's all about. So what do you think there, huh? That's a good sign, a cow that's got food hanging out of its mouth. So, all right, let's go check out this other bale and see if anybody wants to follow me. Pardon me. So where we put the bale of hay, you'll see some here, and then there's some over here to the right, and they're all in a line. And we're going to open up those bales, not all at once, but one or two at a time. And what we're trying to do there is get the cows to eat over there. Unfortunately, where they eat is where they poop and pee, and that's a good thing. So the combination of the hay that they quote-unquote waste and the poop and pee creates a nice foundation to heal the soil and make it so that we've got some good grass that grows there. So along that row of pine trees, there's really not much good grass. So hopefully, maybe not this year, but it's going to be next year when we'll see the results of that. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to take you over to a spot where they grazed, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you'll be able to see what the ground looks like. So you probably can't really tell too much because there's not a differentiation in the colors. But this is an area that had the cattle on it, I think, a month or so ago. And right directly in front of me is where there was a bale. And as you can see, there's all these manure pats. We call those butt fertilizer. Each one of those is used instead of using commercial fertilizer. But right here is where the bale of hay was. And so what you can see is that they pretty much ate it all up, stomped it to the ground, left some fertilizer that you can see. There's other fertilizer that you can't see. And then supposedly what's going to happen is the worms and all the other underground critters that do their thing underground are going to enhance the soil, which is going to make it so that the grasses and legumes and all the other forbs that we have out here are going to grow and become healthier and healthier soil, healthier and healthier, thicker food for the cows in the future. So that's about it. And that's it. So they're over there munching away. Have a great day.